Benoit Blanc, the detective?
Mr. Blanc, I cannot overstate my gratitude to be here. When's the murder mystery start?
Daniel, you mentioned in a recent interview that many of your career decisions are based on your gut. Do you bring any of that into Blanc when you play him?
No, just irritable bowel.
Funning.
I've learned never to trust my gut. It's always failed me. I think the question is, I think what you're referring to is something, because someone was asking me about this grand plan that I had when I stopped doing Bond, that I had this sort of grand plan when me and a bunch of my agents sat down and all went, what do we do next? And I'm just like, it's a fantasy world. I just, if I'm lucky enough to get a script as good as Knives Out, then I'm a fool to say no. I mean, that's as simple as that. And the idea of saying that's a reaction to one thing, or kind of, it's just, people give me way too much credit. I'm a bear of little brain. I just like, if I see a good script, I think I know a good script.
The two of you have discussed Daniel being on one of your Star Wars movies, and now you've been asked about your Star Wars future 11 billion times, but let's talk about that ideal scenario, and would Knives Out help influence that?
Well, look, but I think the third Benoit Blanc mystery, it's time to take the franchise to space. I feel like I'll say what we're all thinking.
It's a crossover.
It's a crossover.
Kathy Kennedy's on board.
Let's get her on the phone.
Great. Benoit Blanc.
Our foot the game is. Yeah, I can see it all. I can see it all happening.
Never, don't.
Never say never.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Be careful what you wish for.
Never say never again. Yeah.
Both of you had some hurdles with bringing Blanc back to the silver screen, whether it be with dialect coaches or writing with a specific actor in mind. Does that leave you with some concerns heading into the third installment of the trilogy, or do you both feel like you're in your stride now?
I think the concerns always flood in the second you start working. But it's also, I mean, the things that make you worried and concerned are the things that make it worth doing and make it exciting. So the notion of going into the third one thinking, how do we not just try and recreate what we did in the first or the second one, but how do we genuinely find some way to challenge and surprise ourselves, and thus hopefully challenge and surprise the audience? How do we do something that's as creatively invigorating and scary and exciting to both of us as anything could be that we'd sit down to make? And I think that's the thing, we do these because it's a genre where we feel like and the second we're not doing that, we'll stop making them.
So in that same vein, making Glass Onion different from Knives Out was such a tall order. What helped both of you get there?
The script.
And for me, Agatha Christie. I mean, going back to the original source of inspiration, which was my love of Agatha Christie's work, and she never repeated herself. I think some people who don't really know her work think she wrote the same story over and over. The opposite is true. She was taking wild new swings with every book, and each book has its own identity and reason for being. So going back and taking inspiration from that original source for me was a big part of it.
Lock the doors.
Stay in your rooms.
Everyone
is in danger.
All right. When's the murder mystery start?